Hi, Erin here, Karma Cat Gardens. Long time no see. Uh, I apologize for the long absence. I won't go into a long explanation because my life is just chaotic and it kind of stinks, and I just got sidetracked and waylaid, and I won't bore you with the details. However, I feel like a bedroom feminist here sitting. It's cool and comfy in here, and I had the light set up, so I figured I'd just move things in here. So today I thought I would do a product showcase and explain, because I've had a few people over the course of time ask me what things were for the products that I make, and how to use them, and it's come up quite frequently. So I thought it'd be kind of nice to have a place to send them. And so I'm going to make this, and I hope it answers some questions, and it just might be of interest to see kind of what it is I do here currently. Because I like to make lotions and potions and just make stuff up. It's just fun. It's what makes this fun. It's what keeps it fresh. So I have some new products. I have some old, you know, golden oldies, I guess you call them. So I will just kind of bring them up one by one, um, explain how they're used, and I've got cats doing silly things. I'm always distracted. I got one underneath me and one over there. Anyway, and then if you have questions, you can leave me a question in the comments and I will answer you. I do want to show you, I kind of set it up really cute, and I was hoping it would make it in the screen, but it didn't. I kind of set them all up right next to us. Right there. And now I'm just going to make you all real dizzy. It's kind of my trademark, since I don't have editing software. I can't afford it right now. I got my sink fixed. I think I mentioned that before, that I didn't have a running sink. I have a running sink, but now I can't use my car because my tags are expired. So if it's not one thing, it's another. But I thought we'd start out with something that people don't always know about, but they hear about, and that is tincture. Which one of these are? All right, gotta put my eyes on. So the tincture, ta-da! This is actually an older. I'm just kind of using one that I already had packaged, and I'm going to show you. So this one is the blackberry tincture. I actually used blackberries that I cooked down. This is from last season, not fresh. It's an older one, and I cooked them down with sugar and made kind of a blackberry syrup, and then I made my tincture, which is Everclear and cannabis. And the cannabis is decarboxylated, which means it is heated up, so it activates the THCA and the CBDA, and it turns it to CBDN or CBD and THC. I believe also the N is in there as well. So please don't ask me what the N means, or the A. The A I think is the acid, and the N is the, not sure. Anyway, what the heating does is it activates it, because before the heat, it isn't psychoactive. It's still got lots of nutrients and good stuff. It's just not as psychoactive. So to take it, it looks like this, and this. Sorry, I shake. I'm gonna put it up here so you can see. So when I ask people to take a drop is literally that, like that. So if I say, you put it under your tongue, you take 1 or 2, 3. I'd say start with 3 drops under your tongue and wait like 20, 30 minutes. And if it doesn't do what you want it to do, then you take some more. Not the whole dropper. And see, it never really fills more than like halfway. It's just the way the droppers are. So, but because it is Everclear, it burns. It burns. But you only really have to hold it there for, I don't know, like 8-10 seconds. You just have to, it goes right into your bloodstream. So you just have to give it time to absorb in, and then you can swallow. But if you can't do that, you can put it into a drink or on a sugar cube or something. The difference is that it doesn't go straight to your bloodstream. It has to go through your stomach and your liver. And so you're not getting quite as much of the product. You're getting it. You're just, it has to go through a different process. It no longer becomes sublingual. So anyway, that's an interesting little aside. So that's what this product is. I also have a new product. It is a honey tincture. So I took, this is local honey, cannabis, and I cooked it together, and you can use it very similarly. I believe you could put it under your tongue, but of course you're also going to enjoy eating it. You can put it on anything you want. And yikes, it is a little bit trickier because it is so messy. I would think it would be fabulous in tea. It would be, you could just put it on in. It is quite strong. I'm going to tell you, this is great for bedtime because I got a little bit, as I was handling the product to try and package it, and I got a little bit in my mouth because I was like, oh, I had some on my fingers, licked it. I woke up 3 hours later. I mean, I immediately was like, I have got to lay down. Lay down. 3 hours later, I woke up. It is really, really strong. So that's kind of how those work. And if you want an idea of what the price, whoops, that's a different product. The price points for these are, this is a 1 ounce bottle for the tincture, something like this. And in Oregon, I'm not sure exactly what the I think they're running, let me think. I think they're running between 25 and 35 for a bottle like this. And I'm just giving you ideas of how, and something like this would be between, and this is again 1 ounce, something between 40 and 60 for a bottle of this. And then this is something completely different. I'm just doing bottles first and then moving on. This is actually a topical, or it can be edible. This is actually just very basic. It's fractionated coconut oil, infused obviously. And it is literally, it's fractionated coconut oil. It's literally just this liquid. People get confused between coconut oil and fractionated. Fractionated is the liquid. It's just been infused. You can put it directly on your skin. You can, I sometimes get a toothache and I will rub it on the tooth or on the gum. Get a little owie, I will put it on that. You can do, you can add it to products, like if you're doing like body products. I believe you can put it into foods or things like that. It's just anything you could use an oil, you could add it into that. It's really, really versatile. I like this product. This would run about $65 to $70 for something like this. Just an FYI. Okay, another new product showcase. This is really fun. This is infused coconut oil and infused honey mixed together, see? And it comes in a little pot like this, and it comes with a little wand like this, so that you basically, to take it, you would just scoop it and just eat it. And you would go very, very careful. You know, with edibles, you have to be super, super careful, because, I mean, you would just take a tiniest taste to get started, because they are so, well, with edibles, it's kind of unpredictable. And you want to know your tolerance first, and it takes a little bit. So it takes a while for it to get digested, and if you've eaten anything or taken any medications, that's going to affect your tolerance. So every day is going to be a little bit different. That's the thing with edibles. That's why they're so hard to tell someone what their dosage is, because it varies so widely, because there's so many variables. It's like, well, did you eat? Did you not eat? You know, did you take medication? What time of the day did you take it? You know, if you take it at the same time every day and you match, you know, your conditions all the time, then you can be pretty accurate. But if things change, then the effects are gonna be different each time. So that's how come it's so different. So anyway, something like this would run about $10 to $15 for a little dealie like this. But I love it because it's so convenient. It's so easy. It's pleasant because it tastes good. You can keep it in the fridge, because coconut oil and they get a little bit melty. So anyway, that's kind of fun. Since we're kind of on the edibles kick, I was going to show you something else. So I have two different kinds of edibles right here. I'm going to show you both of them. So this, I'm afraid to move it. Okay, this is hard candy, and I made it with honey, with the honey that I made, the honey tincture. And these are gummies. I don't feel like you got a good, hold on. I'll make sure you get to see them proper. Sorry, this might make you a little dizzy. There. Product. Anyway, it's just like a shard candy. So, and it's a hard candy. So they smell really good. It smells like honey, almost like root beer, sort of, because I think I overcooked it just a tiny bit. And then the gummies, these are pineapple vanilla gummies. And when it comes to dosing, when I explain to people how much to take, the first time I tell them, you know, don't take a whole one. Don't ever take a whole one. I'm going to use scissors for this because this one's just going to get thrown away. So I would tell them to cut it into, and normally you use a knife, obviously, but we're doing this for time. I say cut it into several pieces. So here's the one gummy. I've cut it down the middle. I'm going to cut it a few more times. I'm going to cut it. So basically I would tell people to take a piece about, sorry if I can hold it up, about that big. I like a chiclet, tiny little chiclet. So like I'm trying to show you the whole piece. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So out of you could probably get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 10 pieces out of one to start. And then you'd wait 40 minutes, take that one little piece, and then try again. That'll give you a good thing. And you probably will be able to take a whole piece, but I would not do it right away because it's better to take less and then add more because you can't do it the opposite way. And I think we've all probably found out the hard way. Just keep in mind if you do end up taking more than you should to not panic because it's okay. You can just ride it out. Just get a glass of water, sit there and somewhere comfortable and breathe. Put on a show you like, nap. You'll be fine. Just stay hydrated. Just make sure you're somewhere safe. And anyway, so yeah, it's just and sometimes I know my mom actually one time we both took the same item, the same thing, and got very over medicated, and she actually got physically ill. But again, we both made it fine. I could see through walls for days. I couldn't stand up straight. It was really bad. As a matter of fact, I might as well show you that product that I'm going to talk about. This is the product that I'm shaking again. Sorry about that. This is called, well, some people call it RSO. This is actually FECO, which is full extract I had it a minute ago. It'll come back to me. God dang it. Now that's bothering me. But anyway, the Rick Simpson oil, but it's not Rick Simpson oil because we use the full plant on this one. So what you do with this is what they use for people with intense pain or that are dealing with like chemotherapy and things like that. And I will never say to somebody that this cures anything. It doesn't. I wouldn't say that. I would say that it might alleviate those symptoms or it might help inhibit growth. But I don't like to make claims that something is going to do that because I think that would be a bad idea. It certainly could help, and there's been promising results in tests, but I think that further studies could be done, and it couldn't hurt to use it alongside, but I don't believe this is an actual miracle, so take that however you want to take it. So if it did work for you, or it worked for somebody else, super great. If you're interested in trying it, absolutely great. But back to what I was saying, it's incredibly strong. Um, I use it in other products because it's basically the tincture cooked down to its final form, to just the cannabis oil, and it's just tar. It just stretches. It's like so strong. Well, because we have a lot of intense pain and we'd seen some stories, we decided to try it. So I squeezed it into a capsule and took it. I didn't understand quite how. I thought, well, okay. I got too much, it stretched, I just, whatever, and took just a huge amount. Yeah, I was high for days. Me, my son, and my mother all just gone. So, learn the hard way. What if you ever do take it and you're needing to titrate up? The best way to do it, here's the trick: take a piece of wax paper, and that's how you dose it out. And it's like the piece of a grain of rice, that's the size. And so then you can put it out on the rice paper, or not rice paper, that wax paper, and then put it in the freezer. And then when you need a piece, you just pop it off and you can swallow it. Or put it in something and eat it. But that way it doesn't string out on you and you have your dosage proper, because it's harder than heck to handle. Now, yeah, I use this in my edibles and in my body products, and it's just it mixes in very well, and then you can dose it very well. You've got like a really great ta-da. But so that being said, we'll move on to body products. So I've got a couple different things here. So the first one I'm going to show you are my lotions. So this is just your basic poured lotion, just looks like that. And you just take another, basically these things. I love these things. Just love them. You just boop, put it on wherever you want to. And then in that vein, here's a tester. I'll just kind of show you what the difference in, sorry, it's a tester, so there's a little, that's whipped. So that's just a different kind of lotion. And I'm actually a whipped lotion person. I use body butters constantly. And this one actually doesn't have cannabis in it. I have, I make my own face cream and body butters. And so not only do they have cannabis, some have cannabis, and you can tell the difference. Look at the color difference. Isn't that funny? Some have cannabis and some do not, because I don't always need a cannabis product on me. So, yeah, I just kind of use the cannabis one where I have like aches and pains, which is usually most of my body. But that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about, because they talk about how when you use it externally, that it's not going to affect you. It's not going to get you high. I tend to disagree on that. So if you use a little bit, it isn't. It might, the first time you use it, it might give you a small rush, and that will go away right quick. I mean, literally just within a minute or two, it's going to be gone. But if you use a lot, like if you're using a body butter and you go from the fingertips up to your shoulder on both arms, and then go ahead and use some on your legs too, and you use it maybe more than once a day, you, by the end of the day, are going to be higher than shit. And I'm not even kidding, because it's happened to me more than one time, and I was like, what the hell? And so yeah, just be mindful. It's not like it's a horrible thing, but it's something to be aware of, because I was using it a lot. I had I have really bad joints, trigger finger. By the way, it totally eliminated my trigger finger. Again, I say it's not a miracle, but if you use it as, it can do it can do that for sure. It really did help. So yes, it does help these things, and I've heard really good things. And I'll tell you another story after I finish all the products. So let me get my last product out to show you. They're starting to get sweat on me. They need to go back in the fridge. These are my lotion bars, my lotion bunnies. I have 3 different kinds on this plate. One of them is a cannabis bunny, and the rest are, whoop, they're trying to fall off. My bunnies are trying to run away. One's a canna bunny, one's a mango bunny, and one's a cocoa butter bunny. Well, 2 are mango bunnies. It's the 2 on this side, the creamier colors, and then the cocoa butter bunny, and my canna bunny's all a little green. And basically they just have beeswax in them, so they hold up, so you can pick them up and rub it on wherever you need it, and then boop, boop, super easy. Just rub it in. They're very nice. I really, really like it. I love the lotion bars. They're super fun. But I find that they do need to end up in the fridge, otherwise they lose their shape. So anyway, that's all. That's all that. Those are all my products. A lotion bar like that would run, well, let's see, I want to say the regular bunnies run around $5. I want to say a can of bunny would be about $10. And I'm just ballparking what everything here, trying to get what they go for, so that you all have an idea of what things are like. And I'm not sure regionally. This is in the Northwest, so I don't know what they are like where you are. But the product that I wanted to, the fractionated coconut oil, I had 2 dogs that were having strokes a lot. And I think I have pictures up on my Facebook, which I'll try and link to, or I might just post in the comments or somewhere. I figure out. I have before and after. My big dog, had a German Shepherd that had went out to go to the bathroom one time and came back in. I went out and found him, and he couldn't figure out how to get back into the house. He was so confused. He'd had a stroke when he was out there. Brought him back in, and I microdosed. Microdosed means it's like almost nothing. I basically put a tiny, tiny bit of this oil on the tip of my finger, and then rubbed it on the inside of his ear. And within 45 minutes, his face looked normal again, because his face had drooped. His head was like to the side, and he couldn't figure out what was going on. And within like that hour after letting him just sit quiet, I closed him in the bathroom because I think it was just too much for him. I brushed him, like kind of let him chill, and then brought him. And then by that time, he was back to normal. And he lived, I think, for another like year after that. But then, he was elderly. And then my little dog, she kind of went 8 months stroking out like that too. And we were using this. Her strokes were a lot more aggressive, and it didn't have quite the impact, but I think it gave us a little bit more time with her. It wasn't a dramatic, you couldn't really see the effects, but it definitely didn't hurt, and I do think it made her a little bit more comfortable. So I don't know, that's again just my experience. I definitely don't tell people to do that to their pets, because again, there's not really a lot of stuff out there to tell you, and there's certainly no dosing out there. So I don't do CBD, so that's just the buzzword out there. It makes me think of remember when aloe was big and acai was big, and what's the other one, DSMO, whatever that was. All those buzzwords were big. That's what CBD makes me think of. So I don't do it. There is CBD in everything because it's a plant, so it's all in there. And I do, because I use whole plant, because of the entourage effect, I just don't do, I don't pull it out. So I do sometimes, I do have a half and half plant. I have a Hercle, which is Harlequin, and God dang my stupid brain, Harlequin and Granddaddy Purple, which is an amazing, and I have done CBD plants, but I don't actually ever just do like a CBD only thing. So that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this little tour of products. I am not going to say I'm going to get on schedule, because I'm afraid if I say that, it'll make it not happen. Sorry it was so long. I wanted to share everything. So please tell me if you liked it, and I'm so glad that I was able to talk with y'all. Okay, talk to you later again. Bye.